Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope my Wi Fi holds out. Amy Thurman today coming to you live with part 4 of my series of self love versus soul love. If you're watching me live or on the replay, say hi so that I know that you're catching this. I was going to do a recap of the things I've covered so far, but then I thought that might be a spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen the other posts. So if you have or have not seen the other posts and you want to check them out, go to hashtag self love vs soul love. So self love versus soul love. Hashtag on pretty much all the platforms. I have posted things on all the platforms. You can find something on any of the platforms if you just go search for that hashtag. And if you can't find them, just let me know and I will send you links to them. All right. So today, part 4. I have been sharing a little bit at a time. I'm trying to make these bite-sized pieces for you so that they're not overwhelming. And I really try to keep these videos short. I have been making posts instead of videos because on the videos, I just have so much to share. I'm just like, I want to tell you all the things, and I have trouble reining it in, and then it ends up so long. So I'm trying to figure out a way around that. So if you could tell me which method you like the best. Do you prefer the posts that you can read? Do you prefer the videos that you can listen to and interact with? Or do you prefer like a reel, just a short little snippet? Just let me know what you prefer, and I will try to make that work because, like I said, I'm trying not to make these long, and here I am just rambling on about it. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the emotional awareness that is involved in moving from self love to soul love. I keep wanting to give you the recap of what I've talked about so far, but there is an emotional component to living truly in soul love. We have to be aware of our emotions. That's one of the first steps, one of the major steps in learning to move from self-love to soul love, or learning to move from where you are now to self-love. We have to be aware of our emotions, and our society teaches us that we shouldn't be. I could go on a rant here. Y'all know if you've watched my podcast that I talk a lot about emotions. Like, I love talking about emotions because they're so important. Emotions are part of our communication system. We have emotions for a reason. We were given them for a reason. They're part of our communication systems, but we have been taught to not pay attention to them, to disregard them, to say, oh, I don't want to feel that, so I'm going to push it down inside and just shove it down in there so I don't have to deal with it. Or we try to push it away, we try to resist it, and it ends up becoming a hurdle for us to overcome. And so what happens is this is research, y'all. Research has shown that when emotions approach and they're sending us the message, whatever it is that we're feeling, if we will allow that emotion to serve its purpose and we will feel the emotion that is there, it will dissipate in, get this, 90 seconds. 90 seconds. Like, can you imagine that? Like, if an emotion comes, anger or whatever it is, most people are familiar with anger, and you let it serve its purpose, let it send the message that it's supposed to send you, then it can dissipate in 90 seconds. Instead of holding on to it, grabbing onto it, or pushing it away and resisting it, 90 seconds. Isn't that wild? It blows my mind. Okay, I could talk about this forever, but I need to rein it in. I keep telling y'all. That's why I don't do more videos. So one of the ways that I use to tell if I'm living in self-love, soul love, or neither of them is by my emotions. How do you feel? And you don't have to know what the feeling is called. You don't have to know. Y'all know I have a chart of 100 different emotions. So there's lots of emotions out there. You don't have to even be aware of what the feeling is called. All you have to know is how it feels. Does it feel good or does it feel uncomfortable? Simple, right? I mean, come on. Are you, tell me in the comments, are you aware enough of your emotions to know when one feels good or when one feels uncomfortable? I would dare to say that I bet most of you don't. It's what we've been taught. It's how we've been taught and how we've been trained to not be aware of our emotions, but we have to be in tune with them. So the first step is, or one of the first steps, the step I have for you today is to identify times when you feel good or when you feel not so good. And I don't mean like physical pain. I'm talking about, this is an emotional thing. Like, How are my emotions making me feel right now? Like right now, I am super pumped. I'm so excited to share this with you. But tomorrow, I may not feel that way. And if you haven't noticed, I really, really try to be transparent. Authenticity is a huge thing for me. It's very important. Integrity, authenticity, and transparency. And so I really try to share openly when I'm struggling, when I have fears, when I have doubts, because they're all part of being human, right? Nobody has it all together. I don't care what you see of them. Nobody has it all together, even though we think they might. Nobody has it all together. We all feel feelings because we're all human. And so here's the thing I want you to understand today with this part 4 of the difference in self-love and soul love is awareness of your emotions. So when we feel an emotion, when an emotion comes to us and we feel it, we allow ourselves to feel it, does it feel good or does it feel uncomfortable? And this is the way I can tell. And I've done this for a long time, long enough that I can do this pretty quickly, but it does take some work at first if you're not used to doing this. I recognize where it feels in my body. And then I know if it feels good or if it feels uncomfortable. Those good feelings, if you're having more good feelings, then you're probably living from your soul a lot of the time. Because when we live from a place of soul love and from our authentic self, our souls, we're being who we are authentically. We're not trying to pretend to be something that we're not. And it feels good. Y'all, did you know that's how we're supposed to feel all the time? It doesn't mean we are. We can't really because we're human, but we're meant to feel good almost all of the time. And we can if we're living from a place of soul love, if we're living from a place of authenticity and being who we truly are. And so that's the message that I have for you today. When emotion comes to me, I know it doesn't feel good. This is the first way I know. The first thing, I can feel it in my head starts to hurt and my neck gets really, really tight. And I'm like, okay, that's not a good feeling. Like that doesn't feel good. If I feel it in my heart, most of the time when I have a good feeling emotion, it's a pounding in my heart. It's not like a nervous, anxious pounding. It's like an excited, oh my gosh, this feels so nice feeling in my heart. And so if you're having trouble identifying the feelings that you're having, try to just take some time. And I do this. I help people do this a lot, and because it's worked for me so magically. Just close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Just cleanse everything. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths. I'm not going to do it with you right now just for time's sake, but maybe we will. Maybe we'll do it sometime. If that's something that you guys would enjoy, me sitting and doing like a meditation or just helping you walk through it together, I'm happy to do that. Just let me know. So you're going to sit, close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and just feel in your body. Where are the places that are uncomfortable? Where are the places? I'm not talking about pain, and I feel a tightness. I don't really feel pain. Y'all, I live with chronic pain, so I know what pain feels like. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just this uncomfortable, like, I don't think that feels good. As compared to when I feel it in my heart, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that feeling so much. I want more of that feeling. So I feel like I'm rambling right now because I'm really trying to rein it in and not overwhelm you with all the things, because I want to so badly right now. So tell me in the comments, how aware are you of your emotions? Like, are you aware when emotions come to you? And are you able to identify those that feel good and those that feel uncomfortable? Because that's a really important step. We cannot get to living in soul love until we can recognize how our emotions feel, not what they are. That's an important piece, but that's not what I'm talking about. How they feel, how they affect our bodies, and that gives us kind of a temperature range of where am I living right now? If you're having those bad feelings, you just feel down and in the dumps and just totally crappy all the time, then you're probably not even living in self-love. And that's the case with most people, I think, that we haven't even reached the level of self-love. And so it just means that we have some work to do. It just means that we have room to grow. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It just is. It's now you know where you are on the spectrum or on the scale, and we know where we want to get, where we want to be. And so it helps us to reach our goal. So we know where we are and we know where we want to go. That's just all it is. Don't try to look at it as, man, I suck. I feel horrible all the time. Man, I suck. No, that's not what I'm saying to you. I'm saying that this is a measure. It just is. Okay. Don't make it good or bad. Although I'm saying good and bad feelings. Don't make this good or bad. Allow it just to be. And think of it as a place of, okay, this is how much I need to grow, or this is how much room I have to grow. So, okay, I'm going to wrap this up because, again, I said I didn't want it to be long. But if you have questions, specific questions for me, or suggestions, things that you think would be fun for me to do, or ways for me to present this, please let me know either through a comment or send me a message. And I have so much in store for you. Like, I'm working on so much behind the scenes that it's really, it's hard for me to keep it in. I'm like, I want to share all the things that I'm doing, all the things that I have in store for you. But I'm not. So, okay, guys, I hope you've had a good weekend. Have a great rest of your Sunday. And I would love to hear from you. Let me know if you have questions or if I can help in any way. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Please share this if you have found it helpful, so that it may reach other people as well and help them learn to live in soul love. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.